Shalom. Just one brief thought I want to share with whoever wants to listen about one of the great dangers facing the state of Israel is actually coming from Jews, and that would be the extremist rabbis there who are trying to limit conversions. Increasingly, it's getting more and more difficult for people who want to convert to make aliyah. Currently, there's two stages to it. Under the law of return, anybody who converts to Judaism or his mother is Jewish can make aliyah under the law of return. But the Rabbinate has placed obstacles in the path of hundreds of thousands of converts of Russian descent. They recently nullified about, I think, 40,000 conversions by the orthodox rabbi in charge of the system in Israel because they didn't think his conversions were legitimate enough. And now they want to significantly increase the requirements for conversions from outside of Israel. Now, what's the problem with this? Well, we have a huge demographic challenge that Israel's facing. There is about 6 million Jews in Israel. There's, 500 million Muslims in the nations surrounding Israel. Within Israel itself, you have Arab Israeli citizens who are having many more babies than the average Jewish Israeli. Then you have the Jews in the West Bank and Gaza, currently more or less under Israeli control, although in Gaza they're really not, they're Hamas. But there's no independent state yet, and you have those populations growing astronomically. If Israel is going to maintain a democratic state, even if there's a Palestinian state that takes away the West Bank and Gaza in the next sometime in the foreseeable future, you still have the problem of the Israeli Arab citizens. Now, there are Jews who want to keep the East Jerusalem. I think that's a big mistake because you've got almost 1 million Arabs living there. Make that section where Jewish Israelis don't like to go anyway part of the Palestinian state, so they won't be citizens of Israel anymore. But there's many in Israel who don't want to do that because of some romantic notion about how every square inch of Jerusalem has to stay under Jewish control. But even if you assume that, you still got the huge demographic challenge then. What do you do about that? There's going to be a point not too far in the distant future where there'll be more Israeli Arabs than there are Israeli Jews. And then Israel will have a choice between maintaining itself as a democracy or as a Jewish state. Now, unless suddenly, miraculously, the average Israeli woman's going to have 10 babies, it's not going to be a solution. And then you also have the problem of Egypt, for example, having a million new babies born every 9 months. The Arab populations are just having an astronomical number of babies. But within the situation of Israel proper, let's just deal with that challenge for now. The only solution, because the average Israeli Jewish woman's not going to have 10 babies or 7 babies, is to have aliyah. Now, I'm just one rabbi, but I get requests constantly from people that want to convert and make aliyah. And I have to tell them it's very difficult to do that. It should be simple to do that. Israel should be begging for people who want to come and live and be part of Israel as Jews and hopefully support the idea of a Jewish state. Wouldn't it be great if Israel had hundreds of thousands of people who wanted to move there? There's plenty of room. And there's certainly Israel could accommodate them. But the problem are the rabbis. The Orthodox rabbis, the ultra-Orthodox rabbis especially, were putting obstacles in the way of this. I'd love to be able to convert 100 people and send them over to live in Israel. That'd be fantastic. And if every rabbi would be working on that, it would be at least an effort to try and help the population of Israel Jewishly to deal with this very difficult and real population crisis it's facing. And so if you want to look for people that are causing tremendous problems for the Jewish state, I would point your fingers at the ultra-Orthodox rabbis who don't seem to care about this at all. They think they live in some kind of la-la land and think, oh, it'll all solve and God will take care of it, not to worry. Well, for those of us who live in a practical world, who count heads and want Israel to be the only viable democracy in the Middle East, we want it to be a Jewish state and a democracy, we've got to increase the number of people there, the number of Jews there. And one good way to do it is to look at a world of 7 billion people and figure some of them want to be Jewish and many of those people want to live in Israel. So let's help them and not put obstacles in their path. Shalom.